You're watching WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Bill Bryant and Barbara Bailey here for WKYT News. And we are learning more today about a woman who was found dead behind an apartment building.
Police made the discovery around 6:15 yesterday morning on Cross Keys Road. We're told the woman is a homicide victim. WKYT's Victor Puente has new details in our top story at 12:30. Victor?
We now know the name of the woman found behind these apartments early yesterday morning. The Fayette County Coroner's Office has identified her as 46-year-old Stephanie Ann Mullins. Lexington police say her body was found around 6:15 Sunday morning as part of an investigation. They haven't released any details about that investigation or what led them behind the apartment complex. A few of the people who live in the building tell me they don't recognize her name or picture, and police say she did not live here. Lexington police tell me they're waiting on autopsy results before they've released any more information, although they have classified her death as a homicide. They're also looking for tips from anyone who may know how she died. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Now, this is the 13th homicide in Lexington this year.
A young boy who fell into a pond at Lexington Cemetery has died. Police say 11-year-old Shannon Davis was fishing with two other children when he fell in last night. Davis had been in the water for about a half hour by the time firefighters arrived. He was rushed to UK Hospital where he died. Just last weekend, a 29-year-old man also drowned after falling into that same pond. Police are needing help in finding a driver suspected of crashing into 4 homes today. Neighbors heard the crash about 7:30 this morning on Georgetown Street. They tell us they saw the driver of a blue Jeep walking away from the scene, bleeding from the face. One of them snapped his picture. The crash moved the home with the worst damage off of its foundation.
It's more than just the hole. The hole is huge, but the house is not even on the foundation.
No one was living in the home. The homeowner says it is too damaged to save, and he's going to try now and sell the property.
Jury selection has started in the trial of a man accused of killing his girlfriend. Police say Paris Charles murdered Goldie Amassey at his home on Chatsworth Drive in 2014. Her body parts later washed up along the Kentucky River in Jessamine and Henry counties. Jury selection is expected to take most of the day, with the trial lasting about 2 weeks. A court date has been set for 2 county officials. A grand jury indicted Clay County Judge Executive Joe Asher and road foreman Buford Jarvis on abuse of a public trust, bribery, and criminal possession of a forged instrument. Investigators say they used public money for projects in private homes. They'll be in court August 29th. Well, hopefully you've had a chance to get out and enjoy our very brief stretch of dry weather. It's been nice.
It was a nice weekend, and yesterday, especially when the humidity levels came down. It won't be sticking around much longer. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is here with a lot of rain in our forecast ahead.
Yeah, and we're already seeing that rain down toward the southeast. In the mountainous regions, in the mountains, that's where we're having the best chance of rain today. Now, if you zoom down south, we actually have a flash flood warning in effect, and that's going to be there for Knox and Bell County portions of that. Pineville is included across 25 and also at that interchange of 92. As you just had one shower after another, now a heavier downpour. It's a very small location, but it's still going to be there until 3:15, so keep that in mind. Once again, right over Pineville, the interchange of 92 and 25. That's where you have that flash flood warning until 3:15. Live sky camera, look at what's going on around here. It's really just the mountains in southeastern Kentucky for today. Around here is beautiful. And we're going to hold on to that rest of the afternoon. Now, as we go throughout the next several days, the flash flood threat will increase. There's no doubt about that. 1 to 3 inches of rain for most, and then a few of us a little bit higher than that. I'm going to show you when that begins for all of us coming up.
Micah, thank you. 8 people have been arrested accused of trying to hide a wanted man. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says deputies went to a home on Arthur Ridge Road on Saturday night looking for Thomas Scott. They say Thomas was hiding in a back bedroom, and the 8 others claimed he wasn't there. Thomas and the others were arrested on various charges. Well, a Kansas water park is closed today. Investigators are looking into the death of a state representative's son there.
The 10-year-old died yesterday while riding what's considered the world's tallest water slide at Schlitterbahn Water Park. Omar Villafranca has more from Kansas City.
Officials still haven't said how 10-year-old Caleb Schwab died, only that he was on the nearly 169-foot tall Verrückt water slide.
We honestly don't know what's happened. That's why an investigation, a full investigation, is necessary.
Witnesses say they saw the boy's body lying on the ground.
First responders started covering it up with a white sheet. You just don't really want to believe what's going on.
Caleb was at the park as part of a special free admission day for lawmakers and their families.
Was family at the park with him?
Yes.
The slide sends riders on a 3-person raft plummeting at 60 to 70 miles per hour. Riders must be at least 54 inches tall, with each raft having a combined weight of between 400 and 550 pounds. Verrückt faced multiple delays before opening in 2014. Adjustments reportedly had to be made to the slide's second hill after sandbag tests showed the rafts literally flying off the slide.
All our rides are inspected every day, actually. And our rides are inspected by an outside party at the start, before the season starts.
Representative Schwab and his wife Michelle issued a statement saying, "As we try to mend our home with Caleb no longer with us, we are comforted knowing he believed in our Savior Jesus, and they are forever together now. We will see him another day." The slide is closed indefinitely. The park's website doesn't give an age restriction, but according to published reports at the time that the slide opened, riders had to be 14 years old. Caleb was only 10. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Kansas City, Kansas.
Now, the name of the water slide is German for insane. A computer outage has delayed thousands of flyers today. A power outage in Atlanta took down Delta's computers around 2:30 this morning. Hundreds of flights had to be grounded. The outage delayed about half a dozen flights at Bluegrass Airport. If you're flying Delta later today, you're urged to keep an eye on your flight status. Well, a piece of history was unveiled on the UK campus this morning.
A time capsule from the 1950s is one of several unearthed during construction on the school's newest residence hall. And WKYT's Rebecca Smith shows us what was inside the boy in a story now that is new here at 12:30.
This latest time capsule was found on UK's campus near the intersection of Limestone and Avenue of Champions here at Limestone Park. A new dormitory set to open up this week for students.
Among the items in the old rusty box, a 1958 ticket to a Louis Armstrong show at Memorial Coliseum, also a ticket for Keeneland, a tea bag, Band-Aids, university programs, and a tube of coral red lipstick. The university's archivist, Deidre Skaggs, says a lot can be learned from items from the past.
Buildings will be taken down so that new ones can go in. That's part of why they did it, in anticipation of that, to know that one day when the building may not be here anymore, this will still remain.
If you happen to be interested in seeing these items that were found in the time capsule, photos as well as a summary, go to our website, WKYT.com. There you will find a link to the University of Kentucky's Instagram page. Reporting in downtown Lexington, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
Rebecca, thank you. Obviously a box, not a boy. The university will be adding the time capsule to its collection of archives. Another time capsule from 1956 was found near Cooperstown. UK buried a time capsule in the spring of 2014 in the front of the new Woodland Glen Residence Hall. So that will be open someday in the future as well.
It's amazing, all these new dorms. Just incredible.
Yeah, a lot of construction, and the students about to hit campus here, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, some are already here. Well, the school bells are ringing. Autumn will be here before you know it. Richard Weber from Springhouse Gardens is here with your game plan for fall gardening.
And it's the 41st year for the Woodland Art Fair, a great family event ahead on WKYT.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have the showers ongoing down towards southeastern Kentucky and the mountainous regions, just like we were talking about this morning. That's the best chance of rain today. That's basically, I don't want to say the only chance, but virtually everybody stays dry but that area down southeast. Now, you don't need a lot of rain in the mountains to actually cause some flooding issues because it hits those mountains and it just rolls down. I mean, it doesn't stay up there on the top. It comes right down, gravity takes a hold, and it drives it right into the lowest portion of the area around there. And that's why we're seeing that flash flood warning in effect until 3:15. That does include the 92 corridor, the interchange from 92 all the way to 25 east. And that will include Pineville as well. So heads up Pineville, heads up Trosper, a small community there in southern portions of Knox County. Till 3:15, you do have a flash flood warning. Barberville, you are not included in that, as the majority of the rain has stayed just to the south of you, but it just continues to track along that same path through the mountains. 119, looks like we could have some problems there too, so just keep that in mind. Wet pattern ahead, though, I'm telling you this. Tomorrow through your Sunday, looks like a pretty good chance of rain each and every single day, at least 40 to 60% chance. And that front gets a little bit closer and it pulls all that moisture. I say all that moisture. You don't want all that moisture. Listen to this, 10 to 20 inches of rain across the panhandle of Florida. I mean, 10 to 20 inches of rain this week. That sounds awful. Bad flooding for them throughout this week. We won't get all that, but we will get a portion of it as it slides into our viewing area, 40 to 60 each and every single day. That means that flash flood threat will be on the increase every single day. Even when the kids are going back to school, there's still going to be a flash flood threat during the day, especially as we get towards your Wednesday, Thursday time frame. So the rainfall this week, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches is your best call. Some a little bit higher than that, but for the most part, 1 to 3 is a good call with that, with those hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. Let's talk about your 7-day forecast. Today is the day to knock out the yard work, to knock out any plans you have. If the kids are going back to school, take them out to the pool, the lake, the river, because one, you're running out of time, not just with school, but also with the rain chances. They'll be on the increase tomorrow, guys, all the way through your weekend. It's each and every single day. There is not a day after today that's less than 40% chance of rain. Doesn't look good. It's unfortunate, but I'm telling you this, looking long range into some part of next week, we will push all this rain on out of here and actually have some dry weather in store. I mean, for multiple days, not just 1 or 2, but multiple days.
Maybe
What
it's
a great thing.
setting up a beautiful fall.
That would be nice,
we'll
wouldn't
see.
it? Yeah, really nice.
It can be a great time of the year around
That's
here.
right.
Thank you, Micah. From sculpture to painting to jewelry and more, you're sure to find something that you'll just love.
Details about the 41st Annual Woodland Art Fair next on WKYT.
Welcome back, and so good to have you with us on WKYT. For more than 40 years, the Woodland Art Fair has showcased unique art, and it provides an atmosphere that brings people back year after year. This year's show is coming up on August 20th.
We're joined by Lee Eaches with the Lexington Art League to talk more about what you can expect this year. Thanks for coming in. Always fun.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And again, people know the tradition, but you just have to explain it to us.
Yeah.
What we'll see at the Woodland Art Fair.
Well, every year, since 19 whatever, for 41 years now, we've been producing the Woodland Art Fair in conjunction with LFUCG Parks and Recreation. What people don't know always is that it's a juried art fair. So the artists, they aren't just selling their works, but they're actually being juried in for placement. So there's over 15 awards that are presented, as well as part of the fair. Everything from glass, pottery, drawing, pastels, everything in between there as well.
And I think a lot of the fun is the fact that you can just kind of wander at your own pace and chat with the artists. Did they enjoy that too?
Yeah, I think it's a nice way for us to make art more accessible, and that's always been part of our mission, is just letting people see the process behind the work itself too. So artists love that sort of thing, and you know, some of the people are coming from Florida, California, Oregon, Washington, everywhere in the U.S.
As we look at some unique pieces that from some of the what will be there, give us an idea. Again, we say it happens every year, but it is different in its own way every year as well.
Yeah, we're always trying to grow ways for people to interact with the space. I mean, it's over 200 artists, and we have tons of sponsors who we're so grateful for, but we also want people to be engaged and participating in the art fair. So this year we've actually introduced some engagement activities. There'll be live drawings that people can participate in. We've got a staring contest, which is meant for people not to interact with necessarily the artists, but also other patrons at the
what
fair.
contest?
A staring contest.
I wondered, I thought that's what you said.
Yeah.
Like a stare down?
It's meant to be like a way for people to get to know one another. Instead of looking at your phone or looking at the map nap and go. It's just ways to get the community involved with one another.
Now that's very
We'll
original.
see how it goes.
I like that a lot.
How long until we would laugh? Probably 5 seconds. You know?
And that's part of it. People have a good time. I mean, it might be awkward for a few folks for a few minutes, but you get to meet somebody new.
And very family friendly.
Absolutely. We have tons of activities for the kids as well.
Is that weekend, August 20th and 21st at Woodland Park, as usual. So, find yourself a parking spot somewhere and make your way on up, right?
It'll be worth it. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We're getting your landscape ready for the fall. Can you believe it's almost here?
Springhouse Gardens is here with some tips. Stay with us.
WKYT News at noon continues. It is a welcome thought for many, especially for those who are not fans of all the summer heat and humidity. Fall is quickly approaching. Now's the time to think about what you can do to prepare your landscape. And Richard Weber with Springhouse Gardens is here, hiding in the plants here with some planting tips. And we do welcome you. Glad to have you here.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
What beautiful plants you've brought.
Well, it's really fun. People don't think of July and August as planting times, but with all this nice weather, actually the precipitation, the rain, it's a great time to plant because we've still got really good supplies and selections of things that are going to carry your garden through the summer and into the fall.
So fall is still a good time to plant?
Well, summer is a great time to plant, and fall is probably the best time of the entire year to plant. Just because the closer you can get to the natural rain periods and when things are kind of going dormant in the fall and the winter, things are getting established. So.
This is a gorgeous plant.
That is a new hydrangea called a firelight hydrangea, and that has been bred to be not just a white summer blooming hydrangea, but to have those pink highlights. This is one that actually likes the sun and always will bloom in July and August and into September. So it's different than some of the ones with the big blue and pink flowers that you see earlier in the spring and early in the summer.
I'm thinking I had the perfect place for that one.
Yeah,
I like that.
At least a half a day of sun.
That's good.
The other thing that you can plant now are trees. We've got some really cool Japanese maples, that great selection of Japanese maples right now, but lots of perennials as well. Things like these native plants. This is a turtle head plant. This one is called Tiny Tortuga, which means tiny turtle. But I mean, they've got fun little flowers that look just like a snapping turtle head. That's a native Kentucky plant.
I love that.
We've got things that aren't necessarily native to Kentucky, but do really, really well here. This is blue leadwort, which is a great summer blooming plant. A lot of people call those hostas, but when they bloom in August, people around these parts and eastern Kentucky call them August lilies.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And hostas are known mainly for their foliage, which these have big foliage, and in the summertime they can start to get sunburn, and all you have to do is do a little grooming, trim the old leaves off, but they always send new leaves up, and this particular type, it's called guacamole. Beautiful fragrant blooms on it.
I love
and this
that.
right here?
It's a great time to plant evergreens right now. So if you need to spruce up your foundation, this is a dwarf arborvitae called a fire chief. So as long as you can water them and we have plenty of rain, anything can be planted right now, August, September, October. So it's a great time to do that. Still a little early right now for mums and pansies and things like that. That's definitely September.
Which, by the way, has a little praying mantis on here, and you can't see him, but I'm going to put a picture of him on my Facebook page.
There
so
he is.
Yeah, and they're good for the garden.
People need to come out and check it out.
Springhouse Gardens, we're out Harrodsburg Road.
Richard, as always, thank you. Want to check in with Micah before we go for the weather? Whatever you're doing?
Yeah, no kidding. Listen, he's loving this rain because of all this planting is perfect for that. However, the rain isn't perfect for everything. We're still looking at some flash flooding going on till 3:15. It does include Pineville, does not include Barberville, and we're sitting there across that 25 and 92 corridor, so just keep that in mind, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us on WKYT News at noon. Our next newscast is coming up at 4.
Make it a great day.